Namaste everyone. This is Dr. Aisha Butalia. Today's session is on artificial intelligence versus information system. Both these topics are totally correlated to machine learning and data mining. But today we are going to talk about what is the connection, similarities, as well as what is the differences between artificial intelligence and information systems. Most of the times they are one and the same thing perceived by scholars, but as the names are different, obviously there may be some differences in their scope, but definitely 100% there is a correlation between these topics. They all are topics related to soft computing, where we do not have results 100%, but the results are towards approximation. So let's start. I received certain mails, the request on the difference between these two topics, artificial intelligence and information system. So I thought of making the video for you all. I hope your doubts would be cleared. Information systems are concerned with capturing, storing, retrieving, and analysis of data, whereas artificial intelligence, AI, technologies are concerned with developing knowledge and facts and considered as more intelligent than information system. Those students who have already learned database management system, say SQL, Oracle, R, Python, anything, SQL Server, MS SQL, or even MS Access. So ultimately, these are the tools where you save your data. Okay, you store your data. The most common way of storing it is in the form of tables. So relational database is very popular. So storing and data into the format which you require, okay, in a more intelligent way is called information system. Whereas gathering intelligence from that data is nothing but artificial intelligence. Now see, human intelligence is what is called God-gifted, right? But when you are incorporating the same knowledge, the same intelligence is what humans have into your computer systems or your machines, then that is called as artificial intelligence. Now, information system is your storing and retrieving and analysis of data. Whereas the artificial intelligence is making your machine, okay, you try to feed some learning algorithms, and that is called as machine intelligence. So with this diagram, this will be more clear. Now this is data, that is the raw facts. For example, there is student data where you have name, roll number, marks of the students. Information is, getting related to more context on that data. For example, gathering the percentage. So you calculate the percentage on the marks available. Now, this you have to process it. So processed data is nothing but information. Now, knowledge is, more synthesized learning, where you try to analyze that the student's pattern. Now, some students are going well in all the semesters. Okay, so this is the knowledge we have about the student, that a student is hardworking and sincere. But coming to next part is intelligent. That is more of understanding, integrating, and actionable. For example, a student is very sincere in all semesters, and suddenly we see that the pattern drops in a certain semester. So the wisdom and intelligence says that maybe some genuine problem related to the student has arisen. Okay, and you have to take the action as per your previous knowledge that the student was sincere, and this semester you can have a little bit of concern and understanding and give the person a second chance. So this comes from data. Now, so if you can see the pyramid, data is large, information is little less, knowledge is little less, and intelligence or the wisdom is again little less. So this is how you gather the intelligence. Now, this information systems is of this part. So this first two levels are more dominant by information systems. Whereas if you go to AI, artificial intelligence, the upper two layers, knowledge and wisdom, are related to artificial intelligence. On every layer, there may be application programs or algorithms which you need to understand on that particular level. Okay, so for example, in the second level information, you see that organized and structured. So you need to have that type of algorithms and application programs which organize your data in a structured manner. Okay. So coming to the types of information system, there are three categories in general: operational information system, business information system, and specialized information system. Operational information system is transactional processing system. For example, in the terms of banking transactions, okay, every day there are certain transactions. Some people delete the amount, some people add the amount, some people update their accounts. Okay, so these are the updations are happening in your current databases. So that is DML operations in terms of DBMS, that is data manipulation language. For example, insert, delete, update, select, all these operations are related to data manipulation language. So that is nothing but in general operational information system using transactional processing systems. Coming to business information system, you have MIS, that is management information system. You have DSS, that is decision support system, and you have enterprise information system. Now management information system is regarding to typically extract and summarize data from transaction processing systems to allow managers to monitor and direct the organization. So it's all about the management part. So the main objective of MIS is to provide lower and middle management with printed or electronic reports with inquiry capabilities so that they can control, organize, and plan more effectively and efficiently. Now see, we will have a separate lecture on these types of information systems, but just need to be highlight that business related all the data systems related to whether it is management or whether it is related to decisions or whether it is related to enterprise, these all comes under the BIS. Now coming to the specialized information system, you have artificial intelligence, you have OLAP, that is online analytical processing. This is again you can say the daily transactions and even the transactions on the summarized data. Okay, so that is analytical processing, because in banking transactions every day there are lakhs of updations going on. So after 6 months you need to summarize your data and try to put it as a history. But if certain queries are required with related to that 6 monthly report, then you need to consider the OLAP, and the connection between OLAP and the query processing is nothing but the DSS. So here at the background OLAP takes place, and at the front end your DSS for the business purpose, it will get integrated. So similarly, this is all about information systems, but the main topic is our to relate between information system and AI. So if you can see that AI is a part of information system, because we saw this diagram earlier that once you do the information, then only you can come to the intelligence, right? So obviously this has to be the part of this, right? So that is why AI is a part of specialized information system. That means you have a database, you've got information, now you extract knowledge, and out of that knowledge, when you extract intelligence, then it is composed of the specialized information system. The example of the student as I gave you, another is that suppose you have got a database of information system of all the sentiments of a person. Okay, so the information says that whenever the person smiles, okay, the lips gets broadened. Now what artificial intelligence would say, that suppose there is a meeting going on and you need to justify whether the meeting was successful or not, whether the clients were happy or not, then you need to identify the faces of the people who are attending the meeting. So if you see that there are smile faces, which you got it from the information system, okay, that decision you got it from there, and then you put it in the machine that let's analyze the faces, and if the decision support system matches with many of the people attending the meeting, you can finalize that yes, the meeting had ended in a positive way, because there are a lot of people who were smiling and had a happy faces. So this is nothing but the intelligence you extracted from the faces in the meeting room. Similarly, if there is a student class going on, there can be an artificial intelligence system as a camera attached in the classroom, which could analyze which student is not concentrating. So if suppose there is a seminar of 200 people, the speaker cannot concentrate on all the 200 students. So what can happen is every student facial gestures would be recognized by the video processing on through that camera through intelligence, and immediately the message would pop up on that screen of that particular person who is attending the seminar, or maybe through message or whatever it is that depends upon what technology has been integrated in that classroom. So it can, the message can be popped up to the person that please be attentive. If you have any doubts, you can text the message. Okay, something like that. So coming to this information system in a diagrammatical way, you have got the basic data, then you've got information, then you have an explicit knowledge, and you have the tacit knowledge. Tacit knowledge is which is going to be used, with human intelligence. So a lot of things have to be understood as human emotions in that particular data. So you need to associate that knowledge with the explicit knowledge. For example, if you consider here in our previous example, the same diagram, the context was mentioned here, right? Context. In everywhere, the here also it is context, here also it is context. For example, a person having tears in the eyes. So what does the context say? That whether the student or the scholar or whoever the person with the tears is crying or sad. No, it may happen that they are the tears have come due to happiness also. So that is the meaning of context. Same gesture with different facial expression. The same gesture meaning can be different. Similarly, the same gesture with different emotions would be different, and with the different gestures with same emotions can be different. So this is what about context. So sometimes people miss in information systems related to context, but this is a very big field where you incorporate not only conceptual language information but also context. So this is how one goes from the TPS to office support system to MIS to DSS and to executive information system. Now coming to the artificial intelligence, first we have the external data or the user generated data through MIS, and then we can have the structured and the unstructured data storage. Okay, those who have learned DPMS, they know what is structured and unstructured data. C language also have a structure. So functions may be an unstructured data, or but C++ is more of a structured data where you can encapsulate classes comprising of data members and functions. Okay, and in terms of objects, then you can remodify it. Then we try to have the cleaning, which is a part of data mining process. And then you train your data so that, you make your machine, you learn. If suppose you teach your student something, that means you are making that student learn something. And artificially, you are making that student intelligent by the learning process, right? So which is original, that is different. But the student doesn't know ABCD from the beginning. So what you are doing, you are making a student learn ABCD. Similarly, you also make your machine also learn through algorithms. So that is known as training of the machine through your data analytics. And for that, you use machine learning algorithms, and ultimately you come to artificial intelligence and deep learning. So what I would like to summarize is that there is something called as data mining, which is very, very useful for prediction. Okay, so for forecasting whether it will rain today or not. So people use the data analytics. They use data mining algorithms, okay, that is used for prediction. So that is basically what is information system. So data mining algorithms can be used for higher information retrievals, right? But there are machine learning algorithms where once when you try to extract the data, you find out certain patterns. And after you identify the patterns, then you try to analyze certain uh, learning algorithms from those patterns. And then you feed it to the machine, and then you make your machine artificially intelligence. So from data to information retrieval or information systems through data mining, prediction algorithms, then you can say machine learning, and then finally you come to artificial intelligence through knowledge, interpretation, and your intelligence and wisdom. So in our previous example, data was over here. That means data was large, and gradually we came to wisdom and intelligence, which was small. But it can be vice versa also. You can extract a lot of knowledge even from your small data sets. Okay, if you have certain history, small history of your student, then too you can analyze a lot about that student or your client history or whatever it is. Okay, so it can be vice versa. This is what this diagram is representing. Now let us see the applications of artificial intelligence. So basically it has been categorized into 3 levels. Okay, it is just a general category where the scope is actually undefined, but then just to summarize, cognitive science applications. Now cognitive means it is related to human emotions, sentiments, behavior patterns rather. Okay, so you need to have expert systems for that. You can have learning systems for that. You make to understand how a person reacts on a certain situation. Every person reacts on the same situation. It's not possible that the same reaction is expected. Okay, so you need to, even psychologists, they need to understand how the person reacts on different situations. Okay, what intensity it has on different levels of sentiments, so that you have to learn that particular human emotions. So that is also related to learning systems. Then you have fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic is where you need to handle imprecision in the data, where the data is not totally exact. For example, if you consider your ACs. Now for AC auto mode in India, it may applicable to 25 because 25 temperature is almost cool. But in terms of US, 25 temperature would not be an auto mode. Okay, because there minus degrees are. So it is related to imprecision. The same data value is not exact. It may vary from situation to situation. Even fuzzy logic is used in your washing machines because every cloth doesn't have to same type of motor. The hard clothes, they require more frequency rotation, the faster rotation, so that it can clear the dirt, whereas sensitive clothes, they want very smoothing rotation. So depending upon the cloth texture, okay, always the rotation frequency would not be the same. So there also you might have seen the signal as fuzzy systems on your washing machines. Similarly, genetic algorithms, every gene is different, so every pattern is different, every behavior is different, and same happens in our machines also. So same algorithms we can feed to our machines depending upon our application. Same algorithm can be used in different applications. You need to modify it, you need to screw it as per the threshold of the application. Similarly, you have neural networks and intelligent agents. We have separate lectures on each of the topic, but just to fix it up on this particular lecture on the difference between AI and IR, these are the broad categories of applications related to artificial intelligence. Next is robotic applications, where you have visual perception, agility. Okay, that means related to touch, because robotics are mainly used for manual systems. For example, there are bricks, 1 lakh bricks which you need to transfer from one building to the another building. So you can have the sensors attached to the arms of the robots, and you can have a pick and drop type of programming. So that sensors are nothing but the touch. The moment it senses that the brick is there, it grips the particular arm of the robot in terms of the size of the brick. Okay, and the moment the drop location is specified in the robot's machine, the location comes and it releases the brick at the particular location. Okay, so similarly, the applications are also related to natural interface, where it can be used in natural languages. Okay, now translators. In terms of translators, there need to be intelligence. The same word, if you just convert it without intelligence, the meaning may change. Okay, but when you translate, you want the exact meaning of the sentence, you know, even if the words are translated in a different way. So over there, you can use artificial intelligence for you know, conversion from one language to the other. Even converting your audio language to text, it needs intelligence, right? You need to understand what is the meaning of the audio, then only you can convert it into text, because without intelligence, the meaning may totally change, and rather it may have no meaning. Then speech recognition. Now see, you have to understand that every voice is different. Even though voice is different, the tone of the same person is different in different environment. For example, if a teacher says good morning in a very good way, you can analyze. The students generally say today the teacher is in a good mood. Sometimes the teacher is just in a very low volume good morning, so you can say, okay, the teacher seems a little bit ill today. Okay, so even the first thing is that every person's voice is different. So again, our intelligence has to be analyzed. The moment somebody calls you, you understand that this is this person's voice. Similarly, the computer should also understand. And the main challenge for the computer is that every voice is different. So how much classification you're going to do it. Then apart from that, going into subcategory, that same person's modulation is different as per their emotions, environment, etc. So speech recognition is also one of the major applications in artificial intelligence. Then multisensory, you can have audio, visual, text, okay, multimedia environment, animation. So all the graphics, everything can be where artificial intelligence is today. A lot of apps are there on the Play Store where, you know, you can immediately change your background, you can change your video style, you can change whatever looks in your images, videos, audios. Okay, so that is all related to your multisensory interfaces. So virtual reality is mostly related to animation. So this was all about the major application areas of artificial intelligence. So thank you very much for your patience listening. This was all about the difference and connections between information systems and artificial intelligence. I hope this session would be useful to you to differentiate and connect both of them, the technologies. Okay, and if you have any questions, you can post it on the comment box, or you email me at aishabutalia@yahoo.co.in. Thank you once again.